always one of the worst people to get to a tooth bomb because you in the back of your head, you know he's right.
Oh,
and
that's the fucking worst.
And he's not right about it. Like, I'm not saying you're right about everything because no one's right about everything.
Nobody is.
But we've had a couple of those talks, and during it, you hate him. It's just
brutal.
You hate, and I think it's just anybody who you hate. Like it's so.
Like the most, 9 out of 10 men are mad at their dads because they confront us. They're our mirror.
But they're not doing that anymore.
You hate the people. Growing up, I hated my stepdad because he would break my shit. He would break whatever move I made. He was 2 steps ahead of me. You always don't like the people. I grew up around people that in all those years I was fucking up, at the end of the night when I was coming down off the coke, they said, listen, we had a great time and stuff. I got to talk to you. Somebody came and talked to me. They know that this guy, you robbed his house. I don't mean to bring this up, but I didn't want to ruin your night last night. Sleep on the couch, get up in the morning, and we got to handle this. And they're not telling me what to do. They're not asking me what to do. They're kind of hinting to me what the right thing to do. And I get pissed. One of the worst conversations I ever had was with Matt Wood. And when he came up to me at the Comedy Works, and he goes, why do you come here? Ralphie, at 95.
Yeah.
I'm ready to kill my ex-wife. I'm living in a basement. I have no food in the refrigerator. I'm sustaining just to do blow, pay my rent, and pay child support. I'm lifting weights, I'm doing the right thing, but I'm on a fucking roll every night. And I would cancel all the time, the open mic. And this guy came up to me, and he goes, can I talk to you for a second? And he's like, hey, man, why do you come down here? Why do you waste your time and their time? He goes, let me be as honest as I can with you. He goes, just being you, you're the funniest out of all these open micers. God forbid you wrote a joke, and God forbid you showed up. Look at your T-shirt. You got a white T-shirt on. You got a white T-shirt on. Dog, my hands were fucking clenching to punch this guy in the mouth. And he goes, I'm not saying nothing bad about you. You're funnier than these guys just being you. And you're throwing it away. I know you're doing blow. I know you don't do it here, but I know you're doing... And this guy just read me the rider. I walked to the bus in Denver, Ralphie, and walked back to beat him up. And when I went back, God let him know to get the fuck out of there. He got out of there. You know where I seen the guy again? Bumped into the guy again in 98 at the Brave Bull in Alhambra. And I followed the guy that used to come out with the hat and go, hi, I like my wife how I like my tits, with brown coffee. The guy that was like a detective.
Yeah.
Dwight something in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, Dwight Slade?
No,
Dwight
Slade, the guy's from Portland that was friends with Hicks. This is a different guy, Dwight something, and I followed him and ripped the room apart. And he was back there with Brian Dunkelman.
Oh.
They had just moved to L.A. together.
Man.
And he came up to me.
Dos besos de la muerte.
And I pulled him aside. I go, Matt Wood. And he hugged me and he goes, he goes, I'm really proud of you. I go, you know why? Because of that talk you had with me. Yeah. And he took me outside. He goes, I was never more scared in my life, but you had to hear it. He goes, me, Todd, and a bunch of comics talked about it, and Todd didn't have the balls to say something to you. He goes, I thought you were going to punch me in the face. I go, it changed my life. It changed who I am today. I'm in L.A. because of the fucking words you said to me. As much as I hated them that night, you know, you are, in my eyes, when I talk about headliners of this decade, you're the top guys I learned from. You have no time to slip. In The Godfather, there's a line that every time I hear it, I want to punch myself in the face. And it's the fucking worst line you could ever say. But where I come from, it's true. Women and children could slip. Men don't slip. That's it.
Yeah.
Women and children can make a mistake. Men can't make mistakes. We don't have. I don't have time to make a mistake anymore. I do not have time to do anything. We've got handed the keys to the castle, Ralphie, man.
Yeah.
You and I have been handed the keys to the castle.
Without a doubt.
I haven't had a job in 20 fucking years.
Neither
That's the reason I've never had to answer to somebody. After I went to prison, I didn't like a man kicking my bed and telling me to wake up.
Right.
I haven't had to answer to somebody, or I haven't had to answer to somebody since I was 15, but for a job, to make a living. And somehow it came together. Even when you were in your fucking apartment over there, it always came together. As long as you were out every night, you were writing every night.
You fucking hustle, every day, work every night.
Is it scary when you see like how close it is. Like, so I just did that seminar, and now I'm trying to start doing more of them. And I wasn't even really scared before the first, but now that I'm like, oh, I could see I really enjoy doing it. And now that I could see, not that it's gonna be easy, but I can see that but it's possible. Like after you guys do shows and you see that it's possible, and you know that there's a ton of work to put in. Like at least for me, it got scarier.
I'll tell you what your market needs right now, and this guy's a genius at getting the business for you. But I think right now what you're doing, fuck these little comedians. I think if they're gonna start a podcast, they're gonna start a podcast. They know how to do it.
Okay.
I think your people is like computer people.
Yeah,
tech
man.
people who really are uncomfortable. They don't know this world, and they want to learn it from A to Z. Comics know this world. They have friends that are doing this right now. Every comic's doing this right now.
Okay.
It's you're going after pennies when you could go after dollars. It's just gonna take you a little work, but when you strike one of those companies, you're gonna hit.
Oh, you mean go after companies? Okay.
Go after fucking AT&T and go, how come AT&T doesn't have a podcast every week?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Talking about their services and what's going on with phones
Yeah.
and technology
And like answering people's
tweets.
problems and shit. Yeah, they love
That's
it.
where the dough is right now. That's your
Yeah.
next move. That's who's at home going right now. There's a board meeting going.
Right.
We're losing 22% because we're not computer. We're not in the fucking
savvy.
computer savvy.
Yeah.
What is going on? Tell us about
Man,
this
look
Twitter.
at fucking Amazon. Amazon today's getting slammed by fucking shit work conditions for people. I mean, they're keeping people working in fucking warehouses over 110 degrees with no breaks. They time everything. They need some fucking counter that shit. I mean, I don't want to buy Amazon now. I mean, but if they would have a podcast that could explain it and tell me, hey, the air conditioning broke. You know, maybe I don't know the full context. Maybe the full context is not being reported. You know, those fucking news agencies is always a fucking by the way. I'd like to hear the other guy's fucking side of this shit. All right? And that's exactly what they need, Lee.
That's
I mean,
a
you
good point.
can fucking kill that shit, dude.
You know, Ralphie, man, I gotta tell you something. I'm sitting here across from you, and we'll end this podcast in a couple minutes. But I gotta tell you something. It's I'm 52, man. I've had a great life. I laugh. I love being upset and then laughing. I live to laugh, people. I know sometimes I come across as a prick. I love giggling. I love laughing. I have a lot of regrets in my life. I did a lot of fucked up things. I was talking about my godfather before. One of the biggest regrets I have, that we didn't have the money to do, Ralphie. What a mistake that. What a mistake that we could go back and rewire that apartment with a camera.
Oh, my God.
We would have a show. And I'm telling you,
That would have been the all-time,
it would be
HBO's all-time greatest comedy show. Of
And
all.
you can't, and you know what, I'm sitting here across from Ralphie, and I'm listening to a story, and I'm like, I can't even go to HBO. Like, I'm talking about, I'm thinking of Ralphie narrating a show about adventures of a fat guy. And just even all that stuff, the tube, when you fell that time.
Oh, falling on Gardner?
Listen, I'm sitting here across from you, and I'm
Okay.
thinking, not even Gardner, the thing you were telling Lee about that he's going on, you don't understand. This chick is living in his house. Before we're talking about the story, here's 3 guys trying to fuck the same chick.
It's miserable.
It's
I'm the
miserable.
only one not trying to fuck her.
But you wanted to fuck. If your face fell into her asshole, it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't have been the worst
It
thing.
wouldn't have been the worst thing. So something happened. They're having an argument. You cannot write this, Lee Syatt. This is an apartment that's living on whatever Ralphie's subsiding.
Yeah.
I'm living off Ralphie. I got a little bit of coke in my pocket. Ralphie's making
Johnny
Bloody
West
Marys.
is.
Bloody Marys. And we're going over it. We're hitting this every night.
Red Devil.
Everybody knew that at 2 in the morning after the comedy
Boom,
store.
the party
boom,
was at
me,
my
him,
apartment.
The Red Devil, Ricky Cruz,
Babaloo.
you know, and we just talk
The
shit.
producer.
Somebody would have a joint, somebody wouldn't have a joint. But this one night it was just me,
Dude, we
and
always
we were
had
drinking
weed.
Bloody
Don't even
Marys,
lie.
and we're giggling. And
Laughing.
Jody says something to Ralphie to piss him off. And there was a big Japanese lamp in the kitchen. All right? And Fucko here sits down, and she pisses him off. And he sits in the position, and something happened that the light got a little lower. And he's fucking saying shit to her with his face red, right? He's like, fuck you. This is my
I
house.
look like anger from inside out.
Don't you ever talk to me like this. This is my fucking house. Can you believe this, Coco? She's my guest, and she's talking to me like this. This is my vodka or something. And he, in the middle of his rage, he's like, ah. And he stops because the light bulb was burning his head.
It burned my hair.
You can't write that. You cannot write that. That's Inspector Clouseau type shit.
I had to wear a hat for like 3 weeks. I was like Junior Judge Wolf. I always had a hat on.
You busted that toilet in your house. Don't blame
No,
it.
it was Gavin's. It was Gavin's. You fucked up Gavin's.
Slim Jim Magoo.
Stop. You also shit in Gavin's shower and then pushed it down with your toe, motherfucker. Okay, I know the real you, Coco. All right, you can bullshit with these other faggots, but I'm bona fide. Okay, I was there at the beginning. Okay, I was mugging. Okay.
Lighting the bum on fire.
You lighting the bum.
Eating people's pussy. If that apartment building had a fucking camera on it,
oh my God,
we would be
multi-millionaires.
I tell the story the night I brought Shayma there, and she was giving these people, drug dealers wanted to fuck Shayma.
Oh, so
and
hard.
I left her downstairs in Gavin's apartment with Gavin and the Armenian.
And she's dancing.
She's dancing, telling ESPN stories. And I come back at 5, and there's one guy
doing
left.
them horrible impressions. Oh my God, remember them horrible impressions? Oh my God.
Every time they give her a line of
garbage. She's hot garbage. Bro, she's all coked out. I'm stoned.
Oh my God.
And this Disney bitch like breaks out into like
Joe Pesci and shit. You have no idea, Lee. You have no fucking idea.
Shut up, bitch. Dance, take them titties out. Okay?
God.
That's what she told her. Did you remember that?
I don't remember
fucking told her. Goes, yeah, whatever, bitch. Take them titties out.
I always love her. I still talk to her when I go to Vegas.
Is she in Vegas now?
She's in Vegas. She's
That's
doing
awesome. She is so
good.
cool.
Doing good. She opens for everybody. She got a little gig. Dude,
I bet she's making a fucking mint.
She's 45. She dances in a cage
and
at a lesbian bar.
She's like 26.
Yeah, she's 20. She dances at a fucking lesbian bar, but she keeps marrying gay guys by mistake.
What?
She hooked up with that dude in Alaska. I had to do this gig.
What?
Listen to me. About 15 years ago, I got to do this
She
gig.
married a gay dude?
Listen to me. What? I had to do this gig in Alaska one time.
At Chilkoot Charlie's?
And at one of those, for one of those people. And I canceled. I got like the stupid TV show or something for NBC. And I had to cancel. And she went up there and met a go-go dancer, like a male dancer. And they fell in love. And she put his name on her little pussy.
Oh,
and then they moved back to L.A. and they were in love. And
man, that's
he
fucking,
was like
wow.
He was like unemployed, but he always came up with a little bit of money. And she was dating him for like 2 years. They were in love. And then one day, she went in his email and she saw an email from old dudes he would go to their house in the afternoon and put like a bikini on, and he would dance for old dudes and shit, and he would get like $50 and do meth. So she threw him out and shit. She was heartbroken because she always makes fucked up choices. I've told this story before.
God
this is hilarious.
Her. That's
somebody tells me this is the name of the guy that she's got on her pussy. This guy is a go-go dancer for old dudes, and he's smoking meth. So she throws him.
Holy shit!
She throws him out. I hear about this. About a month later,
I bump. Right now?
No.
Okay.
I bump into her, and she says to me, "How you doing?" Blah blah blah. We're going back and forth, and I go, "Hey." And I knew I don't know what the guy's name was, but you know me. I go, "So how's Mark doing?" And she gets kind of sad. She goes, "I'm not with Mark anymore." And that's a shame. I go, "Listen, I know this old dude." Oh, you're evil.
You know what, Shayma? You got to give it up to her. She is a queen of a ball buster. She will give it, but she will fucking take it. I tell you what, she takes it better than a lot of fucking bona fide grown men.
She's always she's
fucking funny.
She came up at the comedy store. She came up at a fucking comedy club. Her mother's a biker. Her mother's Gemma. Did you know that? Her mother's like Gemma.
Really?
Like she was telling me stories, showing me pictures one time in the house. Her mother's like Gemma. And she's half Arab.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's Arabian. She's like a
Armenian.
She's beautiful.
I tell you, if you look at her, you think that she had plastic surgery, and you're like, but you realize it's just natural. She glows.
It all enhances you. You're on a roll. You're smoking, and all of a sudden I'm smoking a cigarette in the back alley of 1440. Okay,
I know this one. I was across the hall.
Right, and it has But this is yes. This is across the hall. Okay. So the window's open. I'm smoking cigarettes like a motherfucker. I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm chasing joints with cigarettes. You know me, dog. I'm going deep. It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm on the third joint. I'm on a pack of cigarettes and shit, Camel Lights. And I'm throwing these cigarettes out the window, half lit on fire, right?
Mercy.
And all of a sudden you hear, ah! Now, I did not know there was anybody out there. I hear, ah! I go, what the fuck? And I keep hearing this, ah. Who the fuck lit me on fire? And I'm sitting there, go, who lights somebody on fire? And I go, I did. And I look out the window, and there's the guy fucking smoking. His shirt is something smoking. His clothes are smoking. The poor fucking guy. I go home. The cops don't come. Nobody knows nothing. I'm at El Compadre that night getting a package. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I walk back, and there's the same homeless guy with a blanket on, and you can see the hole in the blanket where the cigarette burnt, and it just caught on fire and went.
You set a bomb on fire! I was right across the hall, and the fire department did come by.
Oh my God!
And ask anybody, I go, I don't know. That fucking bum, probably somebody just driving through that fucking alley, flicked it on him. Fuck him.
Oh my God!
Get that dirty bum the fuck out of our house. It's
guys, I feel bad. A little bit. Once I saw the blanket, I felt a little bad. One time,
did you get him a new blanket at least?
Dog. One time I had to. No, they got a fucking blanket. I'm lucky I had a blanket myself.
Yeah.
I was snorting my blanket. I was about to snort my blanket. I had a choice: a blanket. Or
You're
snort
on my
cocaine.
futon a lot. It was good.
Oh my God! I had a blanket that I can't believe you just brought up a blanket. Okay, let me tell you something.
You had one.
Let me tell you something, dog. In 1983,
it was maroon on one side and tan on the inside.
The one I had.
Yeah,
with
in my
the
house.
lion, the brown one.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something about that brown fucking lion. Okay. Let me tell you something interesting about that brown lion.
3 times a week.
I got that brown lion. That brown lion, I got that brown lion at a Kmart this May of 1984. That's it. It took me 5 years, but I did it. I got my own apartment. And I got an apartment on 48th Street, 46th Street in North Bergen, 44th Street. I got a 1-bedroom studio on the first floor. When I didn't pay rent, I could sneak in through the front window. It was perfect. I was there for about 4 months, 5 months, and they evicted me. But right before I moved in there, I wanted to go straight, so I bought this blanket in 1995. I mean, it was, no, $9.99. It was the cheapest fucking $9.99. Well, I washed that blanket. I got evicted from that place. I was homeless. I went to California, came back. I caused wars that summer. I went to Miami, came back. The whole time, that blanket was at the bottom of my travel bag. I had an army bag, and that fucking thing was at the bottom. Some places I went, they had a blanket. I didn't use it. Right. I always had a blanket. Like a biker. You ever see a biker?
Yeah, man. They always got a blanket.
I had that fucking blanket. I had that blanket when I was living in the fucking rocket ship. I would take it back to the Runnies and put it in a little corner and leave it in there, and that night go take the fucking blanket. When I moved into the hotel in 84, when I was homeless and I got into the hotel, I went and got that blanket. And when I beat Joel for the 1500, I had that blanket. I took that blanket with me. That blanket was with me from the desolate time of my life in that rocket ship to 1999 when that fucking car got towed. Fuck. That blanket was even with me when I went to prison. I left it in that room and nobody fucking touched that blanket. That blanket was $9.95 in 1984. And I had that blanket for what? 15 fucking years.
Yeah.
And that blanket was one of the warmest blankets I ever had. It was a bear. Okay? And on the inside, it was the bear with brown and yellow. And on the outside, it was the bear with yellow and brown. You follow me?
Yeah.
And then the outside of it was fucking brown. So for $9.95 at fucking Kmart, I bought a blanket that went through fucking hell with me and back, Jack. A marriage, a divorce. When we were married, she wouldn't. She wanted to throw it away. I go, don't fucking ever throw that fucking thing away. That thing was in Miami. I slept behind a fucking McDonald's with that thing.
What?
Because in those days, I would just take the fucking clothes out of the army bag, take the fucking blanket out, put the clothes back in, use that as a pillow, and put that blanket on top of me, G. That was an all-purpose army bag I had. I had a little bit of water. I had a razor blade for blow. I had a fucking wrench in there if I had to break a window for a car. Oh, no, Lee. That fucking blanket was there with me. And that blanket, I would just wash it.
Yeah.
All that blanket wanted was my love, and I lost it when that fucking car got towed in Van Nuys. It was in the trunk of that fucking blanket. That blanket was on the roads with me all those years on triple runs. Whenever I got a hotel room, that blanket came into the hotel room. I threw the blanket off, and I used that fucking blanket.
Have you looked for it online?
The same blanket?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same, Lee. Why would I want the same blanket? It wouldn't be the same. That blanket was with me through fucking wars. When I lost that car, that was the hardest thing about that tow. When I got that car got towed, like I thought it was
Is
cute.
that the car that I got my car towed to get all your shit out?
No.
It wasn't that time.
No. This was a car that Ann Maney gave Josh Wolf.
Yeah. I got you.
No, I never got my shit out of it. It was never,
I got my car towed to get all your shit out because they wouldn't let you in the lot.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let me in the car. It was fucking crazy.
All I could get was the back seat and some of the front.
Yeah, no, it was nothing.
Packed.
Headshots, boxing gloves,
Oh yeah.
blankets, fucking pictures from when I was a kid. I had shit in that fucking car they took. And sometimes, till this day, I was just thinking of that blanket yesterday. Going, Jesus Christ, how long did I have that goddamn blanket for? I wish that blanket, I would have taken it to the next eternity with me. Let me tell you how deep that blanket went. In 1985, in February 1985, I looked at that blanket one day and I go, there's something wrong with that blanket. There were crabs on that blanket. I had crabs and gave it to the blanket. You understand me? Who the fuck gives crabs to that blanket? I did. Where's Tony Bennett?
Okay. It's $55 for standing room only at the Canyon Club for a U2 tribute band. Okay.
Oh my God.
So, okay.
Who would pay that?
I don't know.
I gotta get their fucking emails.
No shit.
Them fucking morons. Oh my God. I went to see the cheer. Oh my God, they were so
amazing.
Oh my God, I met
Maybe
March.
you're just tricking people like me who didn't know.
Yeah, you'd be up there,
U2 Bono.
and it's some fucking chubby dude.
Yeah. It's
How much they want for tickets?
At the Rose Bowl, they want $250.
I told you.
Oh shit.
The Rose Bowl is fucking huge, man. Was it hold 60,000, 70,000?
Oh my God! Hold on a second.
Yeah, look at the price of these tickets. This is California.
And that was for general admission below. Up top they want. I'm sorry, $430. I guess maybe that's a better angle. I don't know. It's saying.
Yeah, they could retire it.
Oh my
Ralphie,
God!
Do you want to confirm this? Just make sure.
No, you're
No,
on the
you're right.
Rose
Yeah,
Bowl.
yeah.
That's the
That's
right. I mean,
Let
I
me
was
tell
like
you something.
55. I don't
That's-
think so.
Where has America gone?
Oh, dude.
This is why I'm watching Cheers. This is like
Okay.
Leave me alone.
All right,
all right? Leave me alone. Leave me
Well,
alone.
no, I'm saying it's the same thing. It's the same time period, in a way.
Wow.
What time period?
Not exactly, but like
Are
they're
they
like,
listening to YouTube on Cheers?
No.
well, maybe 80s, 90s. I don't know. I don't know when U2 was
Are
around.
you playing with me? Are you
I don't know when
trying to
U2 was around.
Are you really trying to drive me crazy? You
When
know I got a
was
lot of
U2
money.
started?
YouTube. The first time I remember about YouTube is maybe 82.
No, okay.
82 or 80.
So, yeah, they were listening to
83,
U2 then.
somewhere out there.
So they were. What? Why
They're
you mean-
so good, dude.
They're really
so
fucking good, man.
Really, you like U2?
Oh my God, yeah.
And they fucking blow it up in concert. You'll sit there and fucking drool.
It seems like Bono would annoy you.
He got annoying. He got on my nerves on one of the tours. He walked
Yeah.
on stage with a cane and shit. Let it go, okay?
Stop.
Jimmy
It's
Page never
sunglasses
had a
at night.
cane. Yeah, like all that
Yeah,
shit.
fuck off.
But you know what, man? He shows up and he delivers the goods. And the guitar
Yeah.
player's a savage. The bass player's a savage. The drummer's a fucking savage. They're all
They're
fucking
bad, man.
savages. So I ain't mad at nobody.
I know.
I love music. I like me. I like what they do. I like the early shit. I like some of the shit they play on the radio sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't go buy it if that's what you're asking me, but I like it. I really like the Joshua Tree, but I ain't paying $250 at the Rose Bowl. I got
for shit seats.
and it's $50 to fucking park, and it's $9 a beer. You know what? I'll buy the fucking CD and put it on my iPod. And the next time I take a 5-hour flight, I'll drop Purity Stars.
Yeah.
And I'll do it for fucking free. Okay?
Man, those dudes with those stars need to hook me up. Those are great.
We'll hook you up with a fucking email. You can take the stars with you. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking love it.
Like you want another one?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Lee, here's one for you too.
Oh, sure, why not?
There's 3 of them. We might as well.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Right.
Come on, Lee. Oh, shit.
Like
a
this,
ninja.
Lee.
Oh.
Bow!
Can I have another water, please?
There's no more water.
Have some of that.
Thank you.
There's no more fucking water.
Why can't you just swallow it?
I don't think so.
It tastes pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And watch, he's gonna about puke. Watch this. He gets fucking.
No, just try to eat the waffles. Ugh.
He's
I like them. I love these drinks. Oh my god, these are that I love. I personally, what do you think, Ralphie? I think gummies are the number one edible for me.
Yeah, that or the old breast strips. Did you ever try those?
I came out after the breast strips. I didn't. Try them.
My god, those are great.
And now are they extinct for sure? Yeah, nobody's got them.
I think there's one place still got them. That place over in Santa Monica, by La Cienega.
Really, right there in Santa Monica.
Mm-hmm. If not, they should. I'd go in and buy them out, man. I'd go in there and drop $2,000 on those.
I mean, that's the whole point with an edibles is just to get it over with, to do it quickly, to not have. I mean, I like smoking. I don't mind smoking, but it just doesn't last long enough for me. So edibles, I think that's why I don't like the big cakes and the cereal bars. Some people do.
They're obsolete, those things.
Yeah.
They're obsolete. Those big things.
Oh my god.
I don't think anybody's making cakes anymore.
No.
There's a company that has them. Remember the guy showed up here one day?
Right, yeah.
And he had like really delicious stuff, but 60 milligrams. I'm wasting 3,000 fucking calories.
Yeah. No way.
It's not worth the aggravation. It's a fucking huge piece of chocolate cake they got it. So, but then I don't see baking goods anywhere.
No.
And I generally go to 4 places. I got that place, Buds and Roses. I got Perennial. I got the Russians #1, and I got the people over by Victory there. And I don't see those. I don't think there's no more banana bread. I don't think there's no more banana bread.
That banana bread was deadly, though, Jack.
It was delicious. I don't think there's any more banana bread. People won't go for that.
That banana bread was
They
so
want,
good.
you know, the stars are 7 calories.
Yeah.
7 fucking calories. You don't even know this in your system. At night, you wake up to pee at 2 and it's real yellow. But that's it. It's glowing in the dark. You wake up at wow, and in the morning go, oh shit, that star has some kick to it.
Yeah.
That fucking meal. Look at that toilet. It's shining and shit. It looks like that shit in the fucking. What's the old man movie? The shit they stole from the moon and put in the pool. What's that movie with Cocoon?
Oh, Cocoon, yeah.
Like Cocoon.
Yeah, exactly.
It glows like Cocoon and shit.
Yeah, right.
You wake up at 2, you pee at those stars of death. You're like, ooh, that kidney's working overtime, Jack.
I know.
We're putting the strain on those motherfuckers. We might as well eat steroids and kill that fucking liver.
Speaking of Ralphie, Joey
Joey
has tried to, or doesn't try to, he does torture me.
He's the
recently
best.
With his boogers. And I think you must have been around at that time. Have you ever seen him eat a booger?
Who? Coco eat a booger?
Yeah.
No. My favorite Joey booger story is we were at the Comedy Store in like 2000, okay? And me and Joe Diaz were the only ones smoking weed, okay? Up there. There were a bunch of lamos. It just wasn't in. Me and Coco were it. And we kept on getting the ear beating from this black guy who said he was a producer from Fox. He was just doing this to come into the shows. He probably wasn't even a PA, a production assistant. You know, this guy was there, and he was so fucking annoying and telling us about what TV show we should do and stuff like this. And Coco, I guess he had a head cold, and the boogers he was pulling out, Lee, They were like hard at the beginning, and then like really thick and wet at the end.
I've seen those.
Okay,
Tremendous.
you know what I'm talking about?
Tremendous.
They're amazing. It's like half Triscuit, half snail. Okay, all right, and he'd take those and he'd go to this guy and rub him in. Okay, that guy must have had 20,000 snots on the back of his jacket by the end of the night. Coco, I saw this one too. Lee, he got one going on one finger, all right, and then went with the other nostril with the thumb, all right, and so he had two. And that one looked like a fucking seagull shit on that guy's shoulder. It was so thick, and it was amazing. And this guy was such a fucking asshole. It was the most tremendous.
I used to put snots on my high school teacher, Mr. Zink. And I used to hang out with a daughter. He used to wear the same black jacket every day. And once or twice a week, I go up to him and tap him on the shoulder and say, "What up, Mr. Zink?" And his back had fucking thousands of little dried snots. He would never wash the jacket. It was just my little snots on. Who else did I put a snot on? I put a snot on a few people.
But that guy, the producer, was the fucking best, man. You don't go to focus on the yellow.
Focus on the yellow.
Focus on the yellow.
He's rubbing and everything. Now he sees it.
Now you see it, right?
I can feel it. I'm not freaking out though. I can feel it kicking. It's definitely kicking in. I like it. I like it. I'm not like it's just I sweat. I'm
fucking yellow.
Yellow, just yellow, baby.
Just yellow, baby.
Think about yellow. That's all
I'm thinking
There's no
about.
other colors.
Just yellow. All right, that's it.
I like yellow. Yellow's my favorite color.
Stay in the zone, baby.
Ooh, okay. We're back.
Right.
It's funny that when I got into comedy, especially when I came out here, I go, how long is it going to take for me to fuck up? Like, how long is it going to take for me to hit somebody with a chair or fucking rob one of these comedy clubs, you know? Because you could just sit there and look at 10,000 for so long. Before you have to smack this little fucking...
Mamma mia, if it was anybody else's wedding. Oh,
you know, it's like...
If they only knew, Coco.
You know, it's so crazy how we sit here and we fuck around and you crack jokes, but how sad is it that like Keith Richards outlived fucking Whitney Houston?
Oh yeah,
like Ozzy Osbourne's outliving everybody.
I know,
and he's still doing blow and pills. She's tried to dump him 2 months ago because he was still getting fucking high and fucking the hairdresser. How old is this guy? They don't stop. What people don't realize is...
I just figured this out, too. Me and my tour manager, Ben, we were talking about this. How the fuck can Ozzy, you not understand a goddamn word he says, but sings like a fucking bird? How the fuck did that ever happen?
Lou Graham, there's English people, that's what they do.
They're fucking bad at the bone, Jack. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No. I'm just thinking about how these people, you know, I sit here and I go, how the fuck did I outlive Whitney Houston? Like, especially during the Martel Cartel days.
Yeah.
And I always felt bad. Like, I never knew when the trust was going to end. Like, I never knew at what point. I didn't know if it was going to be being on the road with Mark Babbitt one day. You know, like, and him being... No, because when I...
Dude, I heard he's lost all his teeth.
Yeah, when I first moved here, he used to book these shows with Carlos and when what's his name was still very hot. What's the Mexican guy? The Paul Rodriguez, and he was booking
and George Lopez.
George Lopez. I mean, that was Mark Babbitt. Mark Babbitt was driving back to Texas with 30, 40 G in cash.
Yeah,
because he would take the money from the safe at the laugh stop and use it to finance his tours. She was a millionaire. She's somewhere. Is she still alive?
No. He bought it. I mean, he didn't buy it.
He didn't buy it.
No, he didn't buy it. It was an older lady who owned.
What was her name?
No. You're thinking of
Austin.
Of the Austin woman.
Right.
Okay?
What was the name of the lady in Boston? Because Pete was a stepson or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And she owned a bunch of country bars, but she just thought it was a good manager, and she bought it from Sandy Marcus, okay? And Sandy and her husbands are the ones who started the Laugh Stop, and then Sandy sold it when she wanted to get out to this lady who was a multi-millionaire, probably worth $150 million more, because she owned like the men's club. She owned the biggest country bars. She had a majority of stake in Gillies when Gillies was hot, and fucking the Urban Cowboy. This woman had so much fucking money, and this was just one of her things, that she liked comedy, but she wouldn't even come in, and that's how she got Pete in there. But before Pete, man, with 3 hands, Mark Babbitt was taking money out of that place.
So he was taking the money out of the bank, and then he was pulling what I was doing as a kid. You borrow 25 grand on Friday, as long as you have it back Monday before the bank opens, you give him back 30 grand. Like I said, I had a friend who worked at a bank in the early 80s. That was the deal. Friday at 3, Monday at 9. You better have my money to put back in that fucking bank vault. But I'm getting 5 grand off the top. And he did it every fucking week, this kid.
Yeah.
But he could never be light on a Monday. He only...
Wow. You couldn't even do that now. No fucking way. No fucking way you can do that now.
Let me tell you how good they had it wired. This kid that I'm talking about in particular, I knew him. I grew up with him. And one time when my mom died, he worked at a bank. And I was telling his younger brother, I got these checks, I got this credit card. He goes, talk to my brother. Talk to my brother. So I called the brother. I met him. I gave him the 2 checks, the credit cards. He calls me 2 days later. He says, meet me at Nick's. So my mother had just died. They had just shot John Lennon.
Oh, wow.
It was just the week when they shot John Lennon. Like, they shot John Lennon on a Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
During Monday Night Football, I picked up that envelope on Tuesday. Like, I gave him those checks on Saturday.
Yeah.
And the next day, when I was in school, his brother came up to me and said, call my brother. He wants to talk to you about something. I called him up. He goes, meet me up at Nick's 8 o'clock. Wow. I went up there. He gave me an envelope that was 4 inches deep. All fucking bills were $100. My mom was dead, but will this take care of things for a while? Forever.
Forever. No shit.
I got that money, and I put under I moved in with this family, and I put the money under my underwear, and they would never fucking know. I would just, it was like a real ATM machine. Like, I hid my jeans on top of it.
Yeah.
And I would just dip my hand under and take $100 bill and go out at night.
Wow.
Like, that's how spoiled that was. Like, at that point.
And you never thought about saving any of it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought about saving it and
investing. Go fuck
Not
yourself.
investing, but...
Yeah, I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. I'm going to invest in what?
Getting them blowjobs
from
that
Gabby.
girl. Yeah.
From Gabby. That's what I'm going to invest in, Lee. There's no investments, Lee.
Not
you
investments,
took that to the bar and you invested it.
You want to hear something for fucked up, Lee?
Sure.
Is that not only did he just say, "Oh, that was fine," he was still working. All right, him and his buddies, they would drop out of trees on unsuspecting gay guys and beat them like gorillas till one flag beat all y'all.
They weren't unsuspecting gay guys. They were
Perverts
and pedophiles that did not know what they wanted to do yet. Because listen, man, those guys.
And these guys would drop out of the fucking trees like gorillas.
You want me to tell you something? My friend just went to the mayor's ball, to my buddy's ball. Yeah, he's done. My friend just went to my buddy's ball on Friday. Veneri.
Yeah.
Had his first ball on Friday, $175 a ticket.
Oh, wow.
Why does he have a ball? Like, for his, like...
Because he's a commissioner, or he's an assemblyman.
I love it.
And he told me that the guy we used for bait as kids was there. And I go, how does he look? He goes, bro, that dude hasn't aged a fucking day. He said he still looks like an Italian model.
Oh, wow.
We used to take this kid, and the reason why we used him is because he had a connection. I know that if we ever got arrested, this shit would get squashed. At the end, right before they were ready to press charges, this kid had too much juice.
Right.
That's the reason why I used to take him. I'd split him right 50-50 right down the middle. But all he had to do was just bait. That's all he had to do was just bait. We did the fucking kicking and the pulling and the fucking...
All right, so explain to him. Okay, so he'd be out there and then...
a horrible, dark, fun time in my life. Did you ever say that to yourself? Like, someday when you guys will be 50, you go, that was a terrible, horrible, fun time in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that dark and terrible. Like, it was like, if I think about it now, it was dark. Like, even the daytime, it was dark. Like, there was no sunlight in my life then. And it was It was like my junior year. It started my sophomore summer going into junior year, where you heard rumblings. There was this Davy Thomas, this Thomas family, and they were the kings of it.
The family who owned Wendy's?
They were the, no. These kids did not own Wendy's, trust me.
Lee was saying that with the joke.
And they were the first ones, that 64th Street crew were the first ones that started going to Boulevard East. And then the word started getting out. You can make some money. You know how people drive Lyft now?
Oh, yeah, right.
That's how it was then. You want to
right.
get some money, go on the Boulevard East at night.
Oh my God.
Like, that's how fucking it was so well known.
A spare change.
Well, you know what's crazy? When I read the Iceman's book,
Yeah.
Oh, my
the
God.
Iceman used to live in West New York, New Jersey. And he said that in the 60s, he would just kill people for practice on Boulevard East. Get the book.
Wow.
Get the fucking book. He goes, I can't. He goes, I really couldn't give an actual account of how many people I killed. Because there was 3 years I was just practicing. He goes, I'd go to a bar on the west side
Yeah.
and tell a guy I was gay or whatever, and he'd follow me to Jersey, and I'd kill him on the Jersey side and shit. He goes, just for practice. Just to practice control tactics.
Oh my God.
This guy was the real fucking deal.
Why do you read this book? This book
Because-
sounds like a terrible book.
No, it's fascinating.
It was very fascinating. Well, let me tell you something.
Why do you
When
look at tigers in the zoo?
when the Iceman popped up 10, 15 years ago, like, people called you the next day.
Yeah.
It was fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
It was disturbing. Like, even the first time I watched it, I'm like,
Because you live near him, or just disturbing?
no. It was disturbing that I always thought that you kicked somebody in the stomach and you had some fun and you called them a cocksucker. This guy had it to a complete different level.
What was he doing?
He was a hitman that, I forget the whole fucking story. He was working at a porno thing.
Yeah, he
And
was
the guy came
editing.
in,
He was
editing
making pornos.
films, that's right.
Editing films.
Editing films.
And the guy wouldn't pay him, and he fucking whacked him. And then
He liked it. His brother raped a 12-year-old girl
Oh my
and
God.
killed her. And then he threw the girl off the roof. I mean, the whole family's rotten.
Oh my God.
The family was rotten.
To the core.
When you read the book, there's times you're reading the book and you have to shut the book and go,
Right.
why am I reading
Oh
this?
my God,
His
yeah.
first wife dumped him and he cut her nipples off.
Yeah, I remember you told me that story.
He cut her nipples off.
God damn.
And he used to live right there with a coat factory. When we were kids, that was it. We went behind the coat factory. If you go to the coat factory today and vacuum it, you're gonna find rocks of coke from the 80s.
Wow.
I wish I was kidding. It was every night. You knew that if you were gonna come over and you wanted to get coke and you was coming from the city, go to the coat factory. There'd be 4 cars there, and somebody in that car had blow. Somebody behind a tree, behind a dumpster, somewhere in this area, there's an ounce of fucking coke.
Wow.
Yeah, the first interview with the Iceman was very fascinating. What happened was, Leaf, that people took that interview, sucked it in, and then started hearing other things, and all of a sudden put them together. And they were all really tied together.
Oh, like different stories?
No, all the mafia hits were tied through him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
He began doing hits for one family, and then he kept going to different families, and
Yeah,
he would do
freelancing.
hits for different captains, and nobody knew what the fuck he was doing. Then he got really crazy. The third phase of it is he got really crazy, and he started saying that he was there on every murder. Like when Kennedy got shot, I was up the corner. With
Yeah, right.
When the guy from the fucking Bananas got shot at Joe and Mary's restaurant in Brooklyn and that summer, he says he had one of the tables, that he was one of the backup shooters if the original shooters fucked up. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? He had all these, that was an inner family thing. They weren't going to get a fucking Pollock to step in on that one. There was just a lot of things he claimed, but at the end, he said something that I've said on here. You know, all these people like conspiracies. You have no fucking idea. I can make your day. I can say to you, Lee, you need a VCR? Yeah. Give me $100 because I'd use the traveler's checks. It would cost me nothing. The traveler's checks would cost me nothing.
Okay.
30 cents on the dollar, maybe a favor. Like in those days, the Cubans used to get a ton of traveler's checks, but they couldn't use them because they didn't speak English. So I was the only motherfucker that outlawed. So they'd tell me what they want up in Japantown, and I'd get it for them, but charge them a vig for doing it for them. And I'd go 50% on them. And what were they going to do? They couldn't use them themselves. They couldn't even speak the fucking language.
Oh, my God.
Fucking craziness, right? This is the shit that keeps me up at night.
How do you come up with this stuff as like just on the fly?
This is your
make these like you're running an empire.
You're out there. You're a one-man army on a daily basis. You wake up in the morning, you go to a Charlie's, you order breakfast, and you put it on a tab, and you tell them you're gonna be back by 5. And let me tell you something. You want to know about pressure? When you put breakfast on the fucking tab, and you got to come back by 5 with $10. So I got to make time. I'm already minus 10, and it's 9 a.m. I got to put this fucking day together here. I got to do a half gram tonight. It's ladies' night at fucking Apollo. I got to come up with a new shirt. I got to go to fucking Walmart. In those days, there was no Walmart.
Strawberry daiquiris.
Yeah, you know, I got to come up with a yardstick for that. Somebody's getting robbed today. What a fucking nightmare. You have no idea, Lee. You have no fucking idea. I'm very happy that whole shit. Today I was talking to Larry, and we're talking about something. We're talking about businesses. And he goes, what if you just took the business and moved it to Vegas? And I go, let me explain something to you. That's called borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. Eventually they're going to nail you on something. They're going to realize you don't live in Vegas or some bullshit, and you're going to go away. That was me 35 years ago. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Who gives a fuck? With no repercussion at all. It's the repercussion that fucking kills you.
Right.
Yeah. I had, when I moved in, I didn't transfer my electric. It was just on. I had it for like a year and a half, and they just turned it off one day. I had to go in and pay. I think it was ended up being like $1,400.
What are you going to do?
Jesus.
You know, it's funny how...
Poor Matt Becker.
I quit high school that August. Like that August before my senior year.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no sense in me going back. Who am I kidding? What am I going to do with my life? Like, I was at that point. I go, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to school.
Yeah.
I go, this is a job. It's union. They promote from within.
Right.
These guys make money. I knew all about this company because I had worked for a lumber yard that was a Masback Century hardware chain. This was the warehouse. So I would talk to the guys that delivered all this shit, and they were telling me how much they enjoyed working there. And one day I realized it was down the block from where I was living. And I went from being a daytime shift guy to a nighttime loader. So I said, what am I going to go to school for? I'm making $15 an hour. This ain't bad at all. I could do this forever. This takes me fucking 4 hours at night. And you know what, bro? I went back like in November, and I pegged it out. I tried to do all the credits, and they came back to me and they said, you're not going to graduate on stage. And I said, then what the fuck am I doing this for?
Yeah.
And I don't get invited to anything. Nothing,
I know.
Nothing.
I know.
Nothing. Listen, guys, I'm over it already. Like,
I know, right? It's like I have to be over it. I miss a lot of those people.
First of all, no, but I talk to a lot of those guys.
Yeah, I don't.
See, I talk to a lot of those guys, especially now, lately, the last few years. In fact, I want to give a shout out to my buddies having open heart surgery fucking Wednesday. If I didn't have Brea this weekend and my wife didn't pick, if my wife didn't pick Tuesday, tomorrow to fly, I would have fucking flown back to New York at least Monday.
Yeah.
This guy went to my mom's wake.
Wow.
Like, I go back that deep with Steve Avillo and his family and shit. So I'll be praying for him on Wednesday. Open fucking heart surgery. Plays in the band. Went home one night. Had to get rushed to the hospital. His heart was beating too much. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Hasn't done a drug in 20 fucking years. Then it happened again. He had an episode again. So they said they have to do something to his valves. So.
Wow.
But I was all 4 years with that kid. That's fucking amazing. 35 years. And guys, you're listening to this podcast. You're like, what the fuck's Joey talking about? Let me tell you what he's talking about. It goes fast, motherfuckers. It goes
way
real
fast.
Real fast. I know next year I'll know Ralphie 20 years, right?
Yeah.
98. That's how fast this motherfucker knows. I know Ralphie from an apartment to getting a dog to getting married to having a big house to having 2 kids to having 2 houses.
And a bus.
And a bus.
Now back to one house.
Now back to...
or no house.
It's fucking Reno, Tahoe, and back to the ghetto.
I'm so lucky, dude.
No,
the guys at Caesars are just treating me super nice now. You know, I mean, it's phenomenal. They're class acts. You know, and I can't be mad the way I'm being treated or nothing. I can't even gripe.
Well, listen, brother. And like I tell people all the time that you said it when we were talking earlier about there's no escalator to the top. You know, you're not getting paid right now. You're getting paid for the shit you did when you went up to Visalia and your fucking keys fell down the elevator
Oh my
shaft.
God, I remember that.
Okay, and you had to get, you know, who does that happen to? Lee, who does that
It happened to me.
That you go to a fucking gig, you did a great job, you spent the night, you wake up the next morning, you go to the fucking elevator, you go, oops, your keys go down that one little crack.
That crack.
And I heard they held for like a minute.
Yeah.
I heard they held. By the time you bent over, you shook the elevator.
I could see him. I could see him going down as it hit the light of every elevator. So I saw him, and I could see him down at the bottom. And I'm just like, ah! I got hit by a kid who was coming in from the swimming pool. Okay, and I had the keys in my hand, and I got hit by that little girl and on my hand, and boom, they just. Right in the middle. It took 2 years, but the Hilton there, or the Marriott, whatever it is, they gave me my keys back. But luckily, I had an extra key in the car, so all I had to do was get it open.
And it was Saturday, and they couldn't get an elevator guy.
No.
I mean, there was 1,000 fucking by the ways.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell, you know, everybody, like young comics, like the other day I bumped into some dude when I was with my family. And on the way out, he goes, oh, you know, I've seen you at the Comedy Store. I just got into it. I've been doing it a year. He goes, what is it? What is it? Can you tell me? And I go, time.
Yeah.
Time and mileage. If you do 8 fucking open mics a night, I guarantee you 20 fucking years from now, you'll fucking get paid. Because that effort will not be fucking gone unnoticed.
Right.
Trust me what I'm telling you. You'll know, too. You'll know. Sometimes they give you a check, you look at it, you go, that's for that fucking time I finger banged that Indian chick in Twin Falls, Idaho on a triple run.
Yeah.
Triple run would send you to all these
That
fucked
sounds
up
like fun,
places.
though. Why is that? Why are you getting paid
You know
for
what,
that?
bro? Triple runs, Lee, if I had the time,
I'd go do one.
I would take you on a 2-week triple run. I'd hire you as the chauffeur. Just so you see.
You know what?
You would tap by the third night.
No, I love it. I would love it.
You know what's
tap on
great
the
is
third
I
night.
can do them now. I did one basically earlier this or last year, but I did it
You
in a
do them
bus.
a lot. Yeah, you
Yeah,
do
but it
them
was
a
a bus. It
It's
was
a
great.
bus.
It was great.
I guarantee I wouldn't quit.
I mean, Lee, this is
But you're in a car and you're driving 12 hours.
12. Lee.
And then you're driving, and then the next day you got to get up and drive another 12 hours. And then the next day you drive another 12 hours.
And then the last day you drive an hour.
And the Thursday, you've crisscrossed where you're going to be. Like you're going
And
to
then
be.
you have to come back to that area.
Yeah. You're in Wenatchee.
It's crazy, Lee.
And then you're in Missoula. And then you're in Yakima. But Yakima and Wenatchee are only like 80
Right
miles
there in
apart.
Washington, Missoula's in Montana.
Fucking Montana.
Lee, it's fucking crazy.
Then you got to go to Lewiston, and then you got to go over to fucking Oregon, and you're in fucking Coos Bay, and then the next day you're in Spokane. You're like, I drove through Spokane 5 fucking times.
Coos Bay. I forgot all about Coos Bay, Oregon.
Man, how good is the fucking crab meat there?
Jesus Christ. No. Lee, I started one from Houston that took us into somewhere in Idaho. And then we got up the next morning because there's some days you drive 8 hours. There's something, because you got to remember, we got to do a show. So I get off stage at 11:30. You got to have a drink. They pay you. You got to talk shit. These people don't see civilization. They don't see anybody. You're the biggest thing that's coming to their town since fucking the guy who shot the president came in there.
Since
you know
Steve Prefontaine.
Yeah.
Coos Bay.
No. It is crazy, Lee. And God forbid if you do radio. Like you usually go to some college station and you do radio in those towns. They'll come out.
Yeah.
You really live in California?
What's that like?
So you got to talk to them, Lee. So we're getting back to the room at 1:30. We're up at fucking 7. Driving 10 hours to 5:30. Get to the hotel, take a shower, eat, do the fucking show, go right back to bed, and fucking do it all over again. Hopefully we catch a 6-hour drive. But Friday you catch like a 10, and then if you're lucky it's the same place, maybe an hour. But don't bet on it. Some nights you gotta fucking drive all night.
Yeah, because you got to beat snow.
You gotta beat the snow.
You got to beat the fucking
And
snow.
now you gotta drive back all Saturday night. after you've done
Through the
all
snow.
that driving.
How did you do it, Joey, without the GPS? Like, can you read a map?
Motherfucker.
This was 1995, Lee. You bought a map. You had a 50-state map.
Yeah.
Okay. At that time, Lee, my
atlas.
vision was a lot better than what it is now. I tapped out once I moved to L.A. L.A. had a different thing.
Thompson guy.
Thompson guy.
Thompson
That
guy.
confused the shit out of me. I'm no fucking Phi Beta Kappa here. I'm okay with maps because I was a Boy Scout for 3 or 4 days. Okay, I was a Weeblo 4 or 5 days. Yeah, I was one of those assholes for like 4 or 5 days. So something in Miami, I learned how to read maps. So when I got into the Tribble runs, you had to get the state and drive it out, and then go to that page and put like a fucking paper clip on that page and your page and get the connector, and then I would circle that, and then I would get the directions from them also. They also sent you directions.
Yeah.
They would also send you the night of your gig and how you were going to get there. So to the next gig. So how you got there, let's say your week started Tuesday through Saturday. That's 5 nights. How you got to Wenatchee, Washington, that's your department. That's your problem. Once you get to Wenatchee, Tuesday night, you're going to go to the place, the Palm Springs of Washington. You just said it before. Yakima, Washington. And then you're probably going to go to Missoula on fucking... Now, people like Donna Richards in those days and the other lady, they had runs, but their runs were like 4 hours in between.
Right.
That's not
4 or 5
manageable.
hours, yeah.
No, that's not bad at all.
No, those other ones, those Tribble runs, they were a 12-hour run, kid.
And like, what happens with weather, construction,
Fuck you.
accidents?
If let's pretend that there's a gig and it's 7 hours, and it's me and Ralphie, and we're pretty legit with each other, and we hear there's gonna be snow. Guys like me and Ralphie go, you know what time it is? No Doze and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, might as
Yeah.
well.
No Doze and Mountain Dew. Pack the
It's on
car.
the side of the
Pack the
freeway.
fucking car, and right from the stage,
Go.
we get right in the car. The hotel knows we're coming. We're comedians, and we'll get there as the snow starts.
Yeah.
By the time we're getting to that city, the snow started getting hit. We're catching it as we're driving
Right.
at night.
How,
Yeah, there's different strategies.
They sound
Lee.
silly, but how would you find the weather out at that point? Was it the
TV, radio.
Radio.
Yeah. They had the radio for
TV.
all over the
Well,
country.
Yeah.
But we also read the paper. You know, I still do that. I still like reading a newspaper.
Yeah, sure. I don't read
And
so.
it's like nobody does it anymore. Nobody does it.
I don't
anymore.
read the LA paper. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I
Nah,
buy
it's got no.
every
it's not
once in
fun.
a while, I pay the $2.50 for the New York Post.
Right.
At the airport, I rip it off because it's a federal charge.
Yeah. Right.
You know me, I want to be locked up next to fucking what's his name for a week so I get some info out of him. Maybe he'll call into the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking El Chapo. You feel?
Somebody. You never know you're gonna bump into him.
So
I
funny.
wish my memory was clearer of those times.
Well, I
There's
mean,
maybe like 3 or 4 prisoners, maybe 5 that I did time with that I remember. That from time to time, their name will pop up and I'll look them up on Facebook. One kid, I found his son,
Oh wow.
and we communicated for a while. Then I don't know what happened there. And the rest of the guys, like I remember Etchy. He's a black dude that was like from Indiana. I did time with him. He was cool as fuck. Spencer Antoine, I looked up. First of all, if I'm 50, Spencer's got to be fucking 80. Because when I was 25, he was 55.
Wow.
Right? So I was doing time when I was 25. But I'd love to reconnect with him and just talk some shit. All the dudes in the AIDS unit, they got to be dead. That was 87. That was way before the medication.
Yeah.
And they weren't looking too good then. There was a black dude in the AIDS unit that they thought he was gonna die before, way, but he made it. By the time I got out of the halfway house. He was still there. When I worked with Katie Siegel on Superior Donuts, I felt like pulling her over and going, "You don't understand how many times I watched you in the AIDS unit." That fucking show, Married with Children, on Sunday nights.
Oh yeah.
We get a bunch of food from the visitations, and we'd fucking once married with children, like 8 prisoners, and the dudes who had the AIDS, they wouldn't leave their bedroom.
Yeah.
They would stay in their bedroom. But we were cool with shit with them, bro. We would knock on their door and make them come out and eat. We used to have tons of food, man.